and welcome back to Breakfast to Business with your morning girl, Bea Lim, Managing Director of Team Asia, and I'm super happy to be spending my Monday morning with you guys. I hope you have your cup of coffee, your tea, your hot chocolate, whatever it is that you want to drink this morning as we dive into a very meaningful conversation on how we are coping with the now normal. And you know, guys, despite having no cure yet for the COVID-19 pandemic, global economies are slowly trying to reopen. And you know, we know that businesses and people are struggling to adapt and to look into means and ways to recover. What we're going to do today is to talk about taking the first step in saying yes to the present. We're also going to share some tips and tricks to get you guys started, whether it be a way or a process for you to pivot your own business or a personal journey to successfully transition to the quote-unquote now normal. Yes, guys, we've been talking about the new normal for so long, but here it is. Like, you know, after months of planning, the now normal is here. So let's shift that conversation from the new to what is happening in the present. And ladies and gentlemen, it begins today, and we are super happy to be having you with us here at Breakfast to Business this Monday morning. All right, guys. So first and foremost, we've been together for 15 episodes. Oh my goodness, how time flies. We started this in April, this wonderful journey of talking about how we are doing from the start of the pandemic. And here we are, you know, 15 episodes later, 15 Mondays together. And we are, we are super excited to be sharing this wonderful journey with all of you guys. It's been super meaningful, and we cannot believe how beautiful our experience has been. We just found out a couple of weeks ago that our podcast, B2B Breakfast to Business, was number 56 in Spotify Philippines Top Business and Tech Podcasts. And we also found out that we're number 65 in Apple Podcasts Top Marketing Podcasts. And that has been huge, and that has been so amazing. So thank you so much for tuning every Monday morning. We feel the love, and guys, we're going to continue dishing out some important and meaningful conversation as we move along to season 2, which is coming up, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, soon enough. But for today, let's catch up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's catch up on how we are doing and how we are adjusting to this new normal. So what I want you guys to do is to share the new things, discoveries that you guys have been up to or that you have discovered during this uncertain period. I know you guys are probably listening, and if you guys are feeling inspired to share what you have been doing, we would love to hear about it. So please comment on our social media pages, and let's continue having that conversation, off the podcast, off air, and into our online social media pages. So, you know, I wanted to share with you guys what I've been up to. I know in the past episodes, I've shared with you guys that, you know, with this work from home setup and with all of us having to adjust in the quote-unquote now normal, you know, I've clocked in more yoga hours, and that has been a fantastic way for me to keep my mental health in check, to give myself me time, so that we can, you know, so that I can also integrate, right, and adjust to this future reimagined, and to cope with the stresses that this has brought to us, right? With the way we work, the way we play, the way we communicate, the way we socialize, and yoga has really helped me in that process. But you know, aside from yoga, I've been able to have more time to catch up on my reading list. I've been so excited to have, you know, read books that have brought a lot of meaning and a lot of help to me through this time. One of my favorites really is Glennon Doyle's Untamed. If you guys haven't caught that, or if you guys haven't read that, please do so. It's such an empowering book. So to all my fellow cheetahs out there, this has been awesome. This is such a great book, and for those who have not read it, please do so. It's so empowering, and I'd love for you guys to check it out. So aside from the books, I've also started playing the ukulele. So I am not good with playing any instruments, ladies and gentlemen, but you know, this time has helped me actually have time to sit down, learn some chords, learn some of my favorite songs from the ukulele. And I have to say that the sound of the ukulele and having this time for yourself to teach yourself a new skill and to just, you know, sit back, relax, and listen to this beautiful music is, you know, something that has changed the way I look at me time. And it has really empowered me. It has given me a time to rest, recuperate, and see the world in a different light. And, whenever you hear a ukulele, you can't help but feel at peace, and to have this beautiful sound coming out of you, right? It's pretty amazing, and I've loved every minute of it. I'm not a pro, far from it, but I've enjoyed every single minute of it, and I hope you guys are also finding different hobbies or different new things that are helping you cope, ladies and gentlemen, in this very uncertain time. There are a lot of things that have changed and a lot of things that are uncertain, and it's good for us to be able to look into things that we can control or things that we can discover on our own, so that we can cope, we can grow, and we can thrive. So if you guys are interested in sharing what you guys have been up to, please do so. Would love to hear from you guys. And who knows, those things might actually spark some conversations that we are going to put out in season 2, which is coming soon, ladies and gentlemen. And we're super excited for the things that we're cooking up for you. Okay, so let's segue now into what's happening out there. So, the world is still a scary place. I know you guys have heard the news. We watch it or read it every single day just to give ourselves updates on what's happening in the Philippines and around the world. And we know that, we are all, we're all still fighting this battle, and we're looking into means and ways to balance how to take care of, the health and safety situation, but at the same time also open up our economy so that we can, we can jumpstart the economy and make sure that our businesses, are sustainable and can thrive through all of the different changes, and how we can all push forward. If we were to just take a look at the Philippines in the COVID-19 pandemic, we are still far from what we know as quote-unquote normal, right? Things are not yet back to normal. Things may not be back to normal for quite some time. And that's why we keep on talking about the new normal or the future reimagined. We've been hearing cases still on the rise the past couple of weeks. There have been also studies that have been shared in the news that, there will really be a slow churn for the economy to recover. And we're seeing, this to happen in a span of 1 to 2 years. There is that global mission to be able to find a vaccine to help us all, and we're all praying for that as well. So we know that, we are far from normal, but today what we want to be able to discuss is, even if things are uncertain, even if, we are not as confident about going out just yet, and that there are so many other health and safety protocols that we want to ensure should be in place so that we can all feel a sense of normalcy, we also need to find our footing in the middle of uncharted territories, right? And that's why today what we really wanted to focus on was some tips and tricks on how to navigate in this now normal. So, a few weeks back or a month back, we had, some discussions around reimagining the future. Back then, we talked about McKinsey and Company's 5 stages, which was resilience, recovery, return, reimagine, reform. And we zeroed in on stages 4 and 5, which is how to reimagine the future and how to reform so that we can, jumpstart the economy and look into means and ways for us to move forward, right? We've been planning, talking, defining the reimagined future for months now. And now that the economy is starting to open up, we find ourselves in an even challenging situation or challenging waters of business recovery. And sometimes we feel stuck or sometimes we feel exasperated. And that's the reason why today we want to make sure that we are able to provide one another with that comfort that, we're all in this together, guys. It may be an uphill battle ahead, but we can all do this together. We can all strive to move forward and keep on pushing. Now, what we just wanted to do would be to share some tips and tricks that we've learned in the past couple of months, and we just wanted to bring them all together here in this episode so that you guys can feel rejuvenated, re-energized as we move on to the future. So, my first favorite tip and trick that we've shared with you guys in the past is the 3 C's: staying cool, calm, collected, despite the uncertainties of tomorrow. So if you guys recall way back, we talked about how to get away with crisis with Sid, our director for content, and we talked about the 3 C's because we feel that being able to stay cool, calm, and collected despite all of the challenging things that are happening around us actually allows us to take a step back to assess the situation and see where we can pivot, where we can strategize moving forward, where we need to cut down or where we need to put more of our efforts or invest more of our time and resources to be able to keep our businesses afloat, to keep ourselves sustained, right? And be able to grab the future by its horns, right? And say, yes, we're going to make it. Now, staying cool, calm, and collected is one of my favorites because it allows us to really take a pause, take a breather, and say, I shouldn't panic. I should be able to move forward, and I cannot move forward with a lot of noise and clutter in my mind and in my surroundings. Take a step back, really allow yourself to be disconnected for a bit because in being able to prepare for the future, you need a sound mind. You need a calm spirit, and you need to be able to map out those strategies. And we're not going to be able to do that if we have muddled thoughts or if there are a lot of things that are worrying us. So, guys, don't forget, practicing the three C's, staying cool, calm, and collected, is the number one tip for today. The second one is embracing the new age. Now, taking cue from one of my good friends, Happy Ferraran, who was also part of our podcast on reimagining the virtual event space, talked about saying yes to the new normal. And when she said that, I was so inspired and I was so gripped because it's true. We have to be able to say yes. I have to say personally, there was a time that, yes, I was ready to pivot. I was ready to re-strategize. I was ready to say, okay, we just need to stay cool, calm, and collected. But, there was a part of me that was holding back, that was hoping that we would go back to how things were, or that this would just be temporary, right? And in that holding back, some challenges start to kick in, and you may feel some anxiety. And so embracing the new age, saying yes to the now normal, allows us actually that first step to say, you know what, sure, things are changing, things might not go back to the way things were, but we are in this space. We're just going to accept, acknowledge it, and soldier on, because we can't stay idle for too long and wait till it goes back to how it was before, because it will not. And as sad as it may be, guys, we need to accept it as it is and move forward. So being able to embrace that new age, being able to say, you know what? Yes, I'm going to say yes to this change. I'm going to say yes to this new normal, is an empowering next step in being able to move forward. The third tip that we wanted to share with you guys is surveillance of the playing field. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we need to scope out the area. We need to look into the new environment and review how it is changing, how it is constantly pivoting. If we are able to take a look at what's going on in around us, right, and how it's changing, whether it's the business landscape, how our consumer behavior is changing, how the media is changing, how we are changing, how we are consuming data, how we are consuming content, how we are socializing, how we are putting things out there. It has all changed. And knowing how these things are changing, or at least, doing a surveillance, right? Scoping out the area and seeing how these things are evolving is going to be a huge advantage for you, whether it is for your business or whether it is for your personal journey. You need to be able to look at what's going on and create projects and programs, or even just dish out some ideas for it, right? Look into the means and ways that you can use what's happening, use how the world is transforming to feed you, to feed your soul, to be able to jumpstart a new idea in your head, to probably look into a new venture, right? The point is, guys, we need to learn how to create out of this new thing, out of this this evolving world. A lot of people have actually said the world is changing. You know what? We're going to change that. Let's stop saying that the world is changing. How about let's say that the world is transforming? We are all transforming, and I would love to believe that we're all transforming for the better. This was a huge challenge, but we're going to take it and we're just going to roll with it, and we're just going to keep on moving, right? And so just a sneak peek also, that's one of the things that I am so inspired and so, amazed that our team was able to do this. B2B was born out of this, scoping out the area and looking into how things are changing. We wanted to go into a new medium, right? To keep connected with you guys, to engage you guys in meaningful conversation. And this project actually has been such a beautiful game changer in our agency. And I can only hope that it has also been something that you have enjoyed, the past couple of months. And that you enjoyed it as much as we do, right? And delivering you with this fresh content. But yeah, this was born out of that, about being able to look into what's happening and letting crazy, beautiful, exciting ideas come from it and pushing forward, even if there are challenging ways to do logistics and project management and the like, because we want to be able to move forward. We want to say yes to the new normal. Things may be changing, but hey, you know what? We are going to change with it. We are going to transform for the better with it, and we're just going to keep on walking, right? So that was our third tip. Now on to our fourth tip. Get ready for the uphill battle. You know, guys, I know that it's been tough. Once we've successfully accepted that things have changed, the next step is to prepare for it and equip ourselves to make things happen. Whether it be a change in environment or learning something new, what's important is that we are ready for it. Now, I know, guys, we've been fighting this battle for about 5 months now. And friends, I know it's been challenging. It's been heartbreaking. It's been exasperating. And the battle is not yet done. There is actually an uphill battle ahead of us. But instead of being exasperated and feeling defeated, take time to pause. Take time to strategize. Take time to look into the means and ways that we can push forward and survive this battle. In the art of war, we all have roles to play. Look at what you have, right? Look at what you have right now. And also take a look deep inside of you. In a battle, what role do you play? Imbibe that and sally forth. So if you are a strategist, use that talent and look into means and ways to be able to strategize, pivot, change things around for yourself, for your family, or for your businesses, and move forward, right? If you are the leader, if you are good at bringing people together, do that. Inspire, live the moment, like bring everybody together and get them to work together to make sure that things are better for all of us. If you are a hard worker, if you are the feet on the ground and the eyes and ears on the ground, do that. Be able to use your talent to scope out the area, to do that surveillance thing that we're talking about, or suit up and look into means and ways that we can make things happen despite the challenges that are posed with physical distancing, with the need to make sure that health and safety protocols are in place, with work from home setups. Like, those are the innovative ideas that you can put together and design for your companies or design for your own new ventures, so that we can all be ready for this uphill battle and come in stronger as a team, because I know we're going to win this battle, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just all suit up and sally forth. And last but definitely not the least, our fifth trick is to continue learning and thriving. We also have to bear in mind that what's happening now can happen again in the future. I know, knock on wood, ladies and gentlemen, we don't want that to happen like this scale, but we do need to be prepared for it. So it is very, very, very important to keep learning and growing and to take into consideration how you can make your business sustainable despite unknown challenges ahead. Now, these are again the 5 tips and tricks that we wanted to share with you. And I'm just going to run that down again. Number 1, stay cool, calm, and collected. Don't forget the 3 C's, ladies and gentlemen. If this is something that you put in your pocket every single day, please do so, because I can assure you that in times of crisis, having these 3 C's will make all the difference. Embrace the new age. Say yes to the new normal. Call it the now and push it forward. Do a surveillance of the playing field, scope out the area, review the changing landscape, and take advantage of what you know. Get ready for that uphill battle, suit up, equip yourselves, and know the role that you need to play in order for us to win that battle. And last but not the least, continue learning, continue to thrive, so that we are all prepared for the future, so that whether we are given another challenge or whatnot, we are ready, we are prepared, and we can suit up and sally forth, as we said. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I just wanted to do also was to wrap up the discussion of the whole season, right? From the start of B2B season 1 in April up until today. So that's from April, May, June, July, and what we've talked about for 15 Mondays, right? And bring it all together and see how we have evolved, how we have transformed with our conversation, and hopefully use that as we bring forth business recovery as we go into that uphill battle we were talking about and reimagine that future together, right? So, in April, we started with an interview with Monette Hamlin, the president and founder of Team Asia, and she talked about how we survived the SARS epidemic back in the early 2000s and how we wanted to make sure that the business continued and the business was sustainable. And she also shared some tips that really helped her back then and has helped us a lot as we dealt with the COVID-19 situation. And we call it the productive woman. And she has really inspired us. And if you haven't checked out that episode, please do so. We also talked about reimagining the future. We had an interview with JP Soliman of Union Bank Philippines, and he talked about really coming together and looking at means and ways to continue making sure that your business is thriving and sustainable with all of the different tools that are available, especially in the fintech space, and how MSMEs can come together to help each other out in reimagining that future. We also talked about reimagining the creative industries. We had Erwin Armovet of Sponge Cola, we had Happy Ferraren of Spit, and we have Pam Hoxon of Team Asia, our experience director, and we talked about how things are changing also for events, for the live event scene, and how it's all going virtual. We celebrated our 28th anniversary, and we also got to know some of the great work from home experiences from our very own Team Asians, and those tips and tricks actually really helped us a lot in navigating through the work from home setup during the first few months of the lockdown. We also did a rundown of Team Asia's picks for books, films, music, and TV series, and as well as listed some of the quarantine trends we actually observed during the lockdown. And I believe that these tips and tricks or these top picks, really helped us also discover new things, discover new hobbies that we could all enjoy while we were on lockdown and while we had to adhere to strict physical distancing rule, right? And we wanted to make sure that we shared that love and we shared it with you guys, and hopefully it was also able to help you guys. We also talked about how to get away with crisis with Sid. I already talked about that earlier, but that episode was really powerful in being able to help us navigate through uncharted territories. And we also talked actually about business as usual 2.0 and how we've really seeped into the digital journey. And we had that with James Chong, our senior digital strategist here in Team Asia as well. Now, we also talked about the importance of mental health and living mindfully and taking care of our own well-being. We had Gina Alfonso of Magis Creatives who walked us through, what are the ways that we can live mindfully and take a step back to ensure that we take care of our own mental health, especially at a time when a lot of different things are changing around us. We also talked to Shu Manalo, our executive creative director here at Team Asia, on the importance of diversity and inclusion for businesses or even in our own lives, and that it shouldn't take a back seat. It shouldn't be in the back burner with COVID-19 happening. In fact, we feel that diversity and inclusion helps us actually to be more creative, helps us start great conversations and really push for what matters out there, right? And just recently, we finished a 2-part episode on, corporate social responsibility and how we can influence for good. We had friends from Bloggers United, Paul Chuapoco, Ana Gonzalez, and Isa Ipak. They shared how we can use our talents and amazing stories in creating wonderful, positive impact in our society and our communities. We also talked to Father Didoy Molina, the parish priest of Christ the King Parish in Las Piñas, on how to build dreams with our beautiful Christmas campaign, My Dream in a Shoebox, and also the gift of giving and the gift of kindness. And I hope you guys were able to really appreciate also the concept of being able to give back and build communities, especially at a time when they need us the most. And finally, guys, we are here, oh my goodness, episode 15, and we are saying yes to the present. We started with, a flashback to the SARS epidemic and how we use those lessons in what's happening with us today, to reimagining the future, to taking care of our mental health and seeing how important diversity and inclusion is, to the amazing work from home experiences and, some of the great finds that we've had in this quarantine, session. We've also taken a look at how we can get away with crisis and deepen our digital journey. Guys, we have talked about so much. We have talked about planning for the future reimagined in the past 15 weeks. And today we are here to say yes. We are here to say yes to the present. Let's change the new normal concept to the here and now. Instead of us saying the future reimagined, how about let's claim it and say that it is the future. Yes, it's challenging. Yes, there's an uphill battle, but we're here to wave our flag proud and strong. Future, here we come. We are saying yes to the now normal, and we are going to survive this, guys. We are going to thrive, and we're going to make beautiful things happen. All right, guys, so I'm going to wrap up this beautiful Monday morning discussion with a food for thought for you guys. And this one is very personal for me, and I hope that it inspires you, that it brightens up your day, and that it gives you ammo. It gives you ammo to make great things happen, and to check the things on our to-do list, and to really conquer the world and conquer this new future, right? My grand aunt, who was stricken with polio as a young child, she had a very challenging childhood, and I've always looked up to her strength, to her tenacity, to her awesomeness. And, she's someone that I've looked up to my whole childhood. I miss her every day. And one of the things that she told me stuck with me. And it's something that I carry with me every day, especially during challenging times like these, right? And she told me, Bea, no matter how difficult the situation is, get up, get dressed, put on some lipstick, and show up. Again, I'm just going to repeat that because it's so beautiful. She told me, no matter how difficult the situation is, get up, get dressed, put on some lipstick, and show up. And ladies and gentlemen, friends, that's what I'm going to tell you guys all today. No matter how challenging the world is today, with us having to define this new future and saying yes to the now normal, let's show up. Let's show up every single day. While it's a scary world out there, and I know it's scary and I know it's challenging, let's suit up and rock and roll. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is episode 15 here at Breakfast to Business. We are capping off season 1 with this beautiful discussion on saying yes to the present, saying yes to the here and now, and rocking it and rolling it. And we are very excited to be bringing you even more content, meaningful, impactful, engaging content in season 2. We're going to be rolling that out in just a couple of weeks. But I would like you to stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, for what's happening here at Breakfast to Business through our social media accounts, and stay tuned for updates. So once again, we are on Facebook, www.facebook.com/TeamAsiaPH. We are on Instagram, www.instagram.com/TeamAsiaPH. And please tag us at TeamAsiaPH. We'd love to see your tags and posts as well. We are on LinkedIn, www.linkedin.com/company/TeamAsia. And of course, our wonderful website, www.teamasia.com. Thank you so much, guys, for making us a part of your Monday mornings. It has been such a beautiful, exciting experience for all of us here at Breakfast to Business. Thank you for sharing the love. Thank you for all of the encouragement. Thank you for making our Monday mornings bright and shiny. And I can only hope that we put a smile on your face, that we've given you ammo that you need to power through the week, and that we've given you inspiration. Because, guys, there is life after COVID-19, and we are going to make it happen. So thank you once again. Have a great week, everybody. Happy Monday, and don't forget, show up and rock and roll. Thank you, everybody. Bye.